Procreate is a drawing app made for iPads, but it can actually do even more than that. In this photo manipulation tutorial, I'll show you how to turn this photo into this fantasy poster. Before we begin, please download the free tutorial files via the link below. And if you are ready, let's get started! So guys, let's first create a canvas and set the dimensions to 2K by 2.5K pixels. It will totally work for an Instagram post. And if you'd like to get this poster printed later, I would recommend you to set it to 3.5 by 6K pixels and 300 dpi. In centimeters it would make around 30 by 50. This way you'll get a perfect quality print. Anyways, the canvas is opened and we can start working. To create this dreamy design, I'll be using some native Procreate brushes from inking and airbrushing. You can drag them up here in the list in order not to waste time on scrolling every time. Also, I have a note set with celestial elements and stars that is absolutely free to download in the description under this video. Tutorial bundle also includes a color palette and 3 copyright-free images that I found on Unsplash. If you enjoy my free brushes and YouTube tutorials, please consider visiting my Patreon page, where you can find even more premium brushes and in-depth tutorials. It's linked below the video as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and insert the first image. It will be a girl with the balloons. To import it into the canvas, we need to go to Actions first, then to Add, and select one of these options. If you have the image saved to your gallery, please tap Insert the photo. I have mine in the Files, so I will click Insert a file, and then find the image. If you have the canvas settings same as mine, there is no need to resize the image, it will be imported just fine. And in the next step, we need to remove the balloons, to replace them later with the moon, and create our fantasy design. One of the best and the easiest ways to do that in my opinion is to use Clone tool from Adjustments. It's here at the bottom of the list. After we select it, we can move the picker and place it on the side from the balloons. And to scale it, we can just scale the canvas, like this. It'll get bigger or smaller. Let me place it somewhere here. And then we need to select a brush. In this case, soft brush will work just great. It is in the airbrushing section. And the size can be also adjusted. Let's set it to around 9%. And start making strokes like this. To paint on top of the balloons. The picker is also moving, so we may need to move it further, so it is not overlapping with the balloons. We can also put it here to blend the colors. I will do it roughly first. Actually, we don't have to be very accurate on this area, because later we will paint on top of it. What we need to focus on is the rope. So let me move it closer, then make it smaller, and also lower the brush size. I will move the pencil down like this, to remove it. Let's work on this area close to the hand, so we can make the size even smaller. And try to move it on different sides. Then also remove it under the hand. I'm also trying different options. Making the size very small. Let's go to the right side. So I'm finishing it. Almost there. And we can check it out. Okay, I think it looks quite cool. So we can deselect it. On the photo, I think it is late evening, but I want to turn it into a very dark night. So let's do this. First create a layer and recolor it into some dark color. Let it be number 1 from the palette. We can just select it and drag it on the canvas to fill. After that, drag this layer down. And it seems like nothing has changed. So we need to go back to the layer with the image and play around with various blending modes. For that we need to click on this N icon which means normal, and scroll down. Color dodge will work great. It will also get some glow and get dark, but that's not all yet. Let's make the sky even darker on top. So we need to create one more layer, right above this one. Keep using the same color. And also make sure that soft brush is still selected. We just need to increase the size. It can be set around 25% or so. I will start making strokes on top of the canvas. And make it very dark, close to the edge. Then go gradually down. Let's try to be careful and paint around the girl. Try not to damage her, so we can actually lower the size and make strokes. I will go down on this edge and keep some light area around her head. Let me press more here. Maybe I will just remove it slightly. Alright, I think now it is ready. After we changed the lace blending mode, some imperfections appeared. We can fix them easily if we go back to the image and grab the smudge tool. It is also set to soft brush at full opacity, and the size is around 5%. I will smudge this area. If it's fine at your end, you don't have to do that. I just want everything to be perfect. And now I think it is. We will now insert a balloon image into our canvas. Normally we would insert the photo and remove the background from it manually. But with the new iOS 16 update, there is a really cool and easy way to do that. Let me show you how it works. First we need to open the gallery, go back to Procreate, and swipe up. Now we can drag the gallery app on the side of the screen. Select the photo and tap on the object. When you see it is highlighted, it can be moved on the canvas. And just like that, we can move an object from a photo. It feels almost like sorcery to me. And we can continue working with the balloon. Let me use freehand selection. Remove the rope from here. Outline the chair. Tap on it. And cut. Also, I will remove this part, but this time using eraser. Let's do it carefully and make sure the sides are smooth. I think it's ready now. Let's now move the balloon, resize it, and rotate counterclockwise a little. I will place it somewhere here. And we need to imagine how the rope will go. Let me make it a bit smaller. Alright. Now I want to desaturate it. So I will go to Adjustments and select Hue Saturation Brightness. Set saturation to none. But it will look a bit too pale. So we need to fix the contrast. In Procreate, it can be done using curves. They can be found in Adjustments. And I will move this slider to the right. To the center. This one will go down. Now it is in grayscale and also dark. Let's add some color to it. To do that, I will create a layer above the inserted image and add a clipping mask. Then select color number 2 from the palette and drag it on the canvas. It has flat color, but when we change the lace blending mode, let's change it into darken, it will look like this. Of course, we will need a new layer, so let's go ahead and create it on top. Select color number 6 from the palette. And also moon stamp. It is from the space set. I will set the size to around 16% and tap anywhere on the canvas. Now we can move it and put it on top of the balloon. Let's also rotate it and try to match the empty area with this part at the bottom. So I will also scale it and put it like this. It is matching perfectly. After that, I will duplicate this layer, set the one on top into Add mode, go to Adjustments, and select Gaussian Blur. Let's start sliding to the right side until we will see this glow. So here it is set to 25 or 24%. And we can deselect. When the moon is ready, we can draw the rope. Let's change the color into number 3. Go to Inking and pick Technical Pen. Let me lower the size a little bit. I think around 22% or maybe even less. Let it be 18. I will draw this line first, so it'll have the same color. Then add a line here. And then we need to match it with the girl's hand. So I will start drawing from this side and make it curvy. We can draw it this way and then continue. Add a small tail like this. Also, before we start adding the stars, let's add even more glow. And to do that, I will go to this layer under the balloon, create a new one, change the color into number 5, grab soft brush from airbrushing, and draw a circle around the moon. It will get even more glowing. After that, I will set it to soft light. Let me move it a bit down. And we can also blur it. Just a tiny bit. Around 18% or so. I think I will just scale it to make it a bit smaller. Alright. Now it is ready. Let's add some clouds and then the stars. For the clouds, I have a photo. You will also find it in the tutorial bundle. So I will insert it. Let me just find it. I used it in some other tutorial, so it is here. Let me flip the image vertical and then horizontal. I will scale it uniformly and drag it up so the clouds are not touching the moon, like this. After that, I will set it to color dodge and lower the opacity, so it's not so intense. Let me just slide to the left side and set it to 27%. Now I want to get rid of the spot at the bottom, so we can use a eraser. It is set to soft brush already, and I will start erasing it. Keep only this dark part. Now we can duplicate this layer and add some more clouds on the left. So I will move it to the side and also rotate. I will add it this way and then erase this part. When it is ready, we can add the stars. And to draw the stars, I will create one more layer. Can be located above this one. We can use white color here. And to select it, let's go to the color disk and double tap on the white area. In the space brush set, there is a brush with a star. I added it recently. To get smaller shapes, let's set the size to around 15%. And start making strokes all over the canvas. I will try to avoid the moon, but actually we can erase them. Let's draw even more here. I'm moving the pencil in different directions and see which works better. They may also go on the clouds. Just a few more strokes. And now it is enough. Let's also grab a razor. Let us set to soft brush. And make a few subtle strokes to erase it on the clouds. But still they can be barely visible. I will also remove them from the girl, if there are any. And from the moon. Okay, now it is also done. I think the girl looks a bit too dark, so we can also add some glow to her. Let's find the image and duplicate it. It is glowing, but not in the way I want it to glow. So first let's change the layers blending mode into Add. It is way too light, so we can select Eraser in the soft brush and start erasing it around the girl. We can keep some light here, so the grass will be also glowing. But I will darken her body. Only keep some light on her face and around it. Let me remove the glow from her legs. And also here. So it'll look more natural. A few more strokes on the grass. And this is the difference. Now it is perfectly fine. I'm thinking if we should add some glow to the stars too. Let's try to do that. So I will just duplicate the layer with the stars and apply Gaussian blur to one of them. Around 3 or 4%. It got even better. And finally, when the design is almost ready, I want to tweak the colors. Before doing it, let me try to duplicate the layer with a soft light around the moon to see if it will work better. Maybe I will just lower the opacity of one of the layers. Okay. Now I think it worked. I will just make it a bit smaller. This way. Yes, that's better. Let me create a new layer on top of all layers to apply sort of a filter. So in the color palette I will grab color number 4 and drag it on the canvas. Now we will do some magic. Of course using blending modes. We can start from the very beginning and slide down. Of course normal is not working, so let's continue. I think overlay in soft light looks quite cool, but one of my favorite is vivid light, but I think it is a little too intense, so we need to lower the opacity. I'll set it to 56%. And also I want to remove the color from the moon. So I will grab a razor and erase it in a few strokes to keep it in the natural color. And after this final step, our fantasy design is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For more tutorials and brush sets, please check out my Patreon page. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon!